I'm Avery Haynes. On tonight's Inside Story, the television unveiling of a man who has taunted, teased, tricked, and titillated thousands of people online in the midst of the never-ending scandals at City Hall. November 12, 2013, City Hall Rotunda. Hundreds of people ring the concrete column and they wait for hours,
65.
hoping to get their hands on one of the hottest collector items of the season. The Rob Ford bobblehead. Many are Ford supporters.
Thank you. Really appreciate that, sir.
Others? And at this moment in time, no one knows that amongst them, that man with the sardonic smile is actually the answer to an internet mystery.
My name is Richard Farron, and online I am Mayor Rob Ford.
The man who's carbon copied the mayor's Twitter account. Same portrait, same skyline, but very different tweets.
And from the first day, it got people's attention.
The Rob Ford account has tricked the media, tickled Ford haters, and ticked off Ford Nation with tweets like this.
Just want to thank the Somali drug community for their support. Sorry this whole nonsense is making you look bad.
And this.
The tweet said something like, I get my photo taken with all kinds of people. How am I to know if they're in some criminal organization?
Mr. Mayor, what do you have to say?
And when Mayor Ford's office tweeted this about snow removal, Mayor Ford jumped into action.
Just rolled up a $20 bill and said, getting a closer look at some of Toronto's snow removal or snow clearing equipment.
Reporters have been duped.
It continues to happen every day.
Toronto police have favorited his tweets, and one irate tweeter actually tried unsuccessfully to get police to shut him down.
Toronto police basically very politely directed them to the page of Twitter's guidelines to show that, this is a legitimate form of expression.
What do you hope you gain through this Twitter account?
It's a way that I can say things that journalists can't say and get right to the point in some ways. It's a bit of shock tactics in some way, too.
A chilly night on King Street. Richard Farron is hosting what he calls Froad Fest at a downtown bar named Betty's.
You guys know that this used to be called the Betty Ford Clinic. No relation to Rob, as far as I know.
Jokes about rehab, drugs, and scandals aside, Richard's decision to step out from behind his Twitter account is rooted in his own dark past. Back in the mid-1990s, Richard, a successful composer and sound designer, was also a drug addict.
Marijuana. I used to use a lot of psychedelics like LSD. Then I got into heroin for a little bit, tried to get somebody to score some, and they came back with the crack. So that became the thing.
And so when Mayor Rob Ford came out and finally said this...
Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine.
You decide to step out as the evil Twitter twin and say, look, I've been doing this, but I also have this is my past. Why did you feel the need to do that?
It was starting to be this spin. It's just a personal problem that, we shouldn't pile on the guy for, having this drug problem and trying to rally sympathy for him.
Farron's addiction ate up about a year and a half of his life. He only got clean, he says, because he owned up to his problems and had the help of those who loved him.
I wanted to go public and say something about that because I didn't see that Rob Ford was being responsible about it in any way.
And while the mayor and the media and many in the city have simply had enough of the scandal, Mayor Ford says he and his Twitter account aren't going anywhere.
Satire, I think, is a very important thing. For me, I look at it as a kind of civic responsibility, in that I'm constantly pointing to the truth about Rob Ford.
Okay, now, if you've seen the mayor, he wears a little emblem on his lapel. I couldn't help but notice Mayor Frod's little pin.
What
looked like a cat.
Yes, that's the official emblem of Mayor Ford, is the cat.
In reference to a cat comment from a couple weeks ago?
Yes, in reference to a cat comment a couple of weeks ago. There are a whole bunch of parody accounts, actually, on the mayor. There's one called Hulk Mayor. There's another one. There's that 80s Doug Ford, it's Doug sort of tweeting from when he was back in the 1980s. Twitter really is great for kind of doing these funny parodies.
Yeah.
Someone did try to shut him down, though.
Wow.
Tried to call the police to say that there was impersonation. Anyway, the Inside Story is off now for Christmas season. Merry Christmas to you and to all of you. If you have a story idea, please tweet it to me at City Avery, and that is not a parody account, at least not yet.
All right, and the Inside Story runs every Tuesday and Thursday on City News, but since we are off, you can watch all past segments on our website, citynews.ca. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too.